What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you guys are having an amazing day. So Diddy is being sued yet once again, this time by Don Richard. She was a part of the group Danity Kane, signed to Bad Boy Records. And listen, she has spilled not only her tea, but she also said that she witnessed a lot of um, what was going on with Cassie and Kim Porter and Diddy repeatedly putting his hands on people. So Don Richard, who rose to fame through MTV and Diddy's 2004 reality show, Making the Band 3, sues Combs Tuesday in the U.S. District Court in New York, putting forth allegations to corroborate some of those made by Cassie Ventura, whose bombshell November lawsuit opened the floodgates on the legal woes for the embattled hip-hop mogul. The singer, who's 41, accused her former boss of SA, harassment, and inhumane treatment, alleging that Combs groped, caressed, and grabbed her without her consent. He falsely imprisoned her and forced her to remain at various residences while depriving her and her bandmates of basic needs such as adequate food and sleep. Y'all, when I saw him make the first Making the Band group go to walk to Juniors in Brooklyn for that cheesecake, that's when I knew Diddy is on a whole nother level. A lot of people talk about how their bosses are, they can cross that line, but that was sadism to me. Like he was being cruel just for the sake of being cruel. And I think it was like in January or February or something like that. That would have been the last straw for me. And the fact that their career was really stagnant after that. Like I didn't hear anything about them after they left that TV show. He was just humiliating them just for his own kicks, and that's ridiculous. According to the complaint obtained Wednesday by the Times, Richard alleged that Combs flagrantly exploited her as a singer and writer, withholding her earnings, stealing her copyrighted works, and subjecting her to years of inhumane working conditions. Combs, the complaint said, manipulated Richard with mantras that submission to his depraved demands was necessary for career advancement. He sounds almost like a cult leader. You know what I mean? Like somebody who just gets his kicks or his rocks off by torturing people. It's horrific. And it has nothing to do with career advancement. Richard, the belief that such abuse and exploitation were required for female artists to succeed in the music industry. And that breaks my heart too, right? We hear so many stories of people who are coming out just now, recently, right? Years, decades, in some cases later, of all the things that they were subjected to in the name of trying to help their music career. Like your voice and your talent has nothing to do with all these things, and not just music, right? The Hollywood entertainment period. Yeah, the entertainment industry is ridiculous. The things they put these kids through, people, period, men and women. When Miss Richard resisted Mr. Combs' advances, Mr. Combs retaliated by denying her singing parts in songs, removing her from songs, refusing to allow her to sing in performances, and turning her microphone off during performances. The more Miss Richard rebuffed his advances, the more Mr. Combs' retaliatory behavior increased, the complaint said. And that sounds about right. That sounds like what Aubrey O'Day was saying. That sounds like, I mean, Lil' Kim, she didn't necessarily talk about Puffy, but she talked about everything that she went through with the Notorious B.I.G. Like, there was just so much that these women went through unnecessarily. It's ridiculous. Richard named Combs the record executive Harve Pierre, Remote Productions, Sony Music Publishing, and several Bad Boy and Combs branded businesses, among others, as defendants. I can't even keep up with all the people who are suing Diddy by now. I know that he has 3 legal firms on retainer, but I mean, listen, it's their job to keep up with it, but people keep coming out, and you know what, as they should, right? Get their story out. But by this, Diddy gonna be in the red. He's gonna be have a negative banking account, money in his accounts. She wants a jury trial and unspecified compensatory damages. a financial judgment for mental pain, anguish, and emotional distress. I know that's right. Emotional distress. Run them coins, run them pockets, sis. Punitive damages, payment of legal fees. Representatives for Combs did not immediately respond Wednesday to the Los Angeles Times in the request for comment. Richard alleges in the lawsuit that she witnessed Combs physically abusing and brutally beating Ventura on numerous occasions, and she said that she was threatened by the rapper producer when she intervened. Mr. Combs' namesake, his temper, y'all know that's why he got his nickname Puffy, because his temper, frequently manifested in physical violence. Her attorney's Lisa Bloom. Do y'all know Lisa Bloom? Her reputation precedes her. Lisa Bloom is the attorney for so many people, stars. And I think she was one of the main ones who brought down Harvey Weinstein. So they're going to run them Diddy pockets for sure. Alleges that Combs regularly hurled objects in fits of rage. And we saw that on that CNN video when they were in that hotel with Cassie. But a lot of people have said that as well. He would throw items such as mobile phones, laptops, food, and studio equipment across the room at people. His persistent abuse, including strangling, choking Ventura, striking her with his hands with objects, slapping her, punching her, throwing items at her, including a scalding hot pan. Mr. Combs learned of her efforts to help Miss Ventura and became enraged, threatening Miss Richards' life. With a statement, he said, "Oh, you must want to be unalive today. I make N-words go missing. I end people." On one occasion, after she alleged to have seen Diddy throw a pan of scalding eggs at Ventura, Richard said to her, "I'm giving you an opportunity. If you want to make it, you'll shut your mouth. If you say anything, there will be consequences." She says she also witnessed his late ex, Kim Porter, the mother of his 3 children, leave his recording studio with tears, visible facial industries, including a lacerated lip, and later witnessed Combs and several other males being intimate with a female assistant at a hotel pool in Glasgow. Allegations of sexual assault, sex trafficking, abuse have suffered in the number of lawsuits against Combs over the past year, including those brought by Ventura, producer Rodney Little Rod Jones, and former model Crystal McKinney. Richard's lawsuit also made reference to the sordid allegations to the trafficking at Combs' mansion, which appears to align with some that led to the bi-coastal raids of Diddy's homes in March. In November 2009, after the Soul Train Awards in Atlanta, Richards said that in the lawsuit, Combs flew her and others on a private jet to his house in New York for an after party. She says she remembers seeing copious amounts of illegal substances being openly consumed and believed that Combs had arranged for dozens of young women and girls, some of whom appeared underage, to be transported to the party where they were given these illegal substances and alcohol. Many of them appeared lethargic or passed out, while Combs and his guests performed SA acts on them. Oh my goodness. Miss Richard believed that her presence at the party was a test to see whether or not Mr. Combs could trust her. Richard said in a lawsuit that during the auditions for Making the Band, she was also subjected to verbal abuse by Combs, who allegedly spoke to the female contestants in a hostile and condescending manner and made disparaging remarks about gender-based remarks, calling contestants fat, ugly, bees, and hoes. She says she felt threatened and intimidated by his blatant disdain. Combs would regularly be awake for prolonged periods of time because he was allegedly high on these substances. He demanded continuous access to members of Danity Kane to record or rehearse for 36 to 48-hour stretches without breaks and forcing the women to choose between eating and sleeping. The 5'4" singer says she lost a significant amount of weight during these extreme conditions and weighed only 100 pounds at one point. She also claims that Combs would often intrude while she was changing clothes to grope her bare body and to smack her on her buttocks. That reminds me of what people would, the former pageant queens were saying about Trump, that he would do the same thing. He would barge in. And a lot of that's a reoccurring theme that I've realized from studying malignant narcissists, that they feel like they just have access to everything and everyone, people's bodies, no boundaries. It's sickening. She accused Combs of SA and false imprisonment in December of 2010 while the Diddy Dirty Money was preparing for a performance on Saturday Night Live. She alleged that Combs publicly berated her and her bandmate, Kalina Harper, and raised his arm and swung his fist toward her face, but did not strike her when Richard asked him to stop. Instead, his bodyguard allegedly grabbed her and escorted her and her bandmate into a Bad Boy Records Bentley with heavily tinted windows and no door handles. So she was locked in for 2 hours with no way to escape. Eventually, the lawsuit says she was able to call her father on Harper's cell phone, and he traveled from Baltimore to New York to free her. When Frank Richard, a former singer and drummer with the soul band Chocolate Milk, confronted Combs and threatened to report him to the police, Combs told him to think about his daughter's career. And I guess, I haven't heard of her since. So I'm guessing that he really did go through with his threats and blackballed her from the industry, allegedly. But I'm glad that she's standing up and telling her story now and needs to be told. You guys, let me know your thoughts on this new Diddy lawsuit. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm so glad these victims are coming forward. And Diddy needs to be under the jail, in my opinion. But I'm glad that she has Lisa Bloom too, because Lisa don't play. But you guys, let me know your thoughts. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.